coxswain Jameson Pess. On stroke, Adam Malla. 7, Eric Schwarzenbach. 6, David Magacy. 5 seat, Fred Weisstable. 4, Martin Barasco. 3, Sebastian Grimberg. And 2, Mark Dillon. And in bow seat, Dave Octo. Sounds like we maybe had some technical difficulties. We're trying to figure these out as we second varsity race.
We'll take a look at the rankings here. Princeton's second varsity is ranked first in the EARC, with Brown's second varsity ranked third. Brown's freshman is ranked first, but as we know, a lot of teams don't have freshman boats this year due to the rule change.
So all three coxswains have their hands raised, getting their points.
Doesn't seem too choppy up here, does it, Jimmy?
Yeah, actually it doesn't. It looks a little, the first 500 looks a little better than
Currently
the
pulling
last
the
couple
cruise.
races. I'm sure the second 1,000 will be just as difficult.
3,
Countdown.
2, 1, attention, and they're off.
And we have a start. If you're just joining us, the brown 2V nearest to us in the yellow Empacher, Princeton 2V in the middle in the yellow Empacher, and the brown freshman in the far lane in the black Resolute. All crews up to a nice clean start. Definitely some good intensity in this first 250. We're through the breakage zone. I'd say Princeton's got a slight edge here, maybe a seat on the brown 2V and a couple on the brown freshman. Yeah, you can hear the coxswains yelling as the boats settle down to their base cadence. We're coming through the first 250 here in a time of about 40 seconds and change. Princeton 2V's got a deck on the brown 2V, and it's got about 4 to 5 seats on the brown freshman. Brown 2V taking a little push here. Yeah, Princeton 2V seems to be weathering it fairly well. Yeah, all crews finally settled down to their base cadence. I see the Princeton 3 seat sitting on the just about on the brown bow ball. And we're through the first 500. Princeton a time of 124. Brown 2V a time of 125 and change. And the brown freshman about a second behind that, 126 and change.
Yeah, the Tigers are looking really strong here, really long, really lean, putting a nice base cadence down, just putting in work.
And you can hear this brown coxswain calling for move from his guys. Looks like he may have gotten a seat back on the Tiger 2V. Princeton coxswain sitting on the brown freshman bow ball and sitting on the brown 2V 4 seat. Nice solid composure from all three crews here. We're going to be coming through the 750 in the next 10 seconds or so. Yeah, again, this Princeton 2V is undefeated, so this is their last regular season race. We're through 250, Princeton time about 209, Brown 210, Brown 2V 210, and the brown freshman about 211. Yeah, Princeton continuing to push out here. I'm seeing Princeton coxswain on brown 2V 3 seat. He's looking across. See if they can edge out a little bit each stroke and see if they can push out before they get to the 1,000-meter mark. The Princeton 2V has cracked open water on the brown freshman. And Princeton coxswain sitting on brown bow seat. Princeton through the 1,000-meter mark at a time of 2:53. A pretty good time here in this head breeze. Brown about a second and a half behind. And the brown freshman 1 second behind that.
The brown 2V's trying to make a big push here. You can hear the coxswain really screaming. Their move isn't very effective. Not moving much on the Tigers. Still sitting up.
Tiger coxswain sitting on the bow deck of the brown 2V. One thing I actually just noticed, John, is Princeton's throwing a bucket and the 760 there.
I noticed that. Coach Hughes does like his buckets.
That's for sure. Looks like the brown 2V here is at 36 and a half. We're through 750 to go now. And time of about 3:40 for the Princeton Tigers. Princeton Coxon sitting on bow ball of the Brown 2V. And the Brown freshman has moved back into the Brown 2V a little bit, sitting about a bow deck down, while Princeton is trying to crack open here with about 6:50 to go in the piece. All boats staying fairly well composed here. Definitely gets a little squirrely in this last 1,000. Coming through 500 to go in a time of 4 minutes, 22 seconds is the Princeton 2V. 4:26 and change for both Brown boats. Princeton Coxon just about to break open here in this last 500. Both Brown boats starting to wind it up here, see if they can eat back in that Princeton lead. But Princeton have been solid and composed in weathering both these pushes. You can hear the Brown Coxons calling their boats up. Okay, Brown coming back just a little bit on Princeton. I got the Brown bow ball on the Princeton Coxon. Princeton starting to wind it up as well. Solid racing so far here in the 2V category. What'd you say, John?
Yeah, it's really strong here, Jimmy. Brown's not dying, but doesn't look like they'll have enough to beat the Tigers today.
We're in the last 250. Princeton winding it up here. So margins currently, Princeton just a tad of overlap on that Brown 2V. Brown 2V up about, their two-man is sitting on the Brown freshman bow ball. So we're in our last 100 meters here in the second varsity race, Princeton versus Brown. It's going to be Princeton by about a length over Brown, over the Brown 2V. Brown 2V about half a length over the Brown freshman. So in a time of 5:53, it's Princeton. 5:56, Brown 2V, and about 5:57, we have the Brown freshman. Very tight racing in this second varsity piece.